My name is Jessica and I have no idea what I'm doing. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone and happy holidays. How is everybody doing resisting all those Black Friday makeup sales? Some of you may not be struggling because you're just buying everything that comes into your newsfeed or your email. I'm struggling. I don't want to buy things that I don't need. I don't want to spend money that I shouldn't be spending. So I have to say it has been a struggle. It's very tempting when all these emails and notifications come in and it's like, 30% off here, 20% off and free shipping over here. The free shipping always gets me. What I'm going to do today is a few different things. So this is kind of like a get ready with me. I'm not going anywhere. I just want to put on makeup like I usually do. I do have some new products that I'm going to be testing, so you'll see that also in this video. And we're also going to have a little chat. So I'm going to try to do all those things at once. I don't know how well that's going to go because you guys know that I can't do two things at one time. So we're going to see. Right now I'm just setting my eyeshadow primer with my Maybelline Fit Me powder in 110 porcelain and my dollar store brush. I already have foundation, bronzer, and blush on, which I should have filmed the foundation because one of the new products I've been testing out is this brush. This is from Moda, I think. Right? Are they also called Royal and Langnickel? Complexion brush. What is this? BMD 185. So yes, that is what it looks like. I have to say I've been enjoying it. I've been using it lately to apply. See, I really should have taped this because this is new too. This is the L'Oreal True Match Liquid Foundation in one of their new shades. So I have showed you this one, C2 Natural Ivory. I still have the Dwayne Reed sticker on it. Yes, I do. And this one is C0.5 Fair Ivory. I feel like the formula is different on this one. I also feel like it's not, it is lighter. Let me tell you, when you see the two together, see in the camera, yeah, that one looks lighter. But when you see them out here in person, this one looks lighter, which it shouldn't. I don't know what's going on there, but I feel like this new one, the one that is actually lighter, it is a little bit lighter. It's runnier and like a little more liquidy, so I'm not thrilled with that, but it's been doing the job. And what I've been using to apply it is this brush that I got during the Ipsy live convention thing last month. For the most part, I like this brush. I'm surprised because I'm not really a foundation person, I'm not really a brush person, but yeah, instead of using those little sponges from the Creme shop to kind of like use it like a beauty blender type thing, I've been using this for maybe half a week to a week now. And for the most part, I like it. I feel like it spreads the foundation nicely. My cons are that now that I've used it for a little bit, I do feel like some of the little hairs are coming out, and that can be a little annoying at times. And also, like, to get, say, here or like around my nose or like even close to my lip, like, that's a little difficult. But I'm assuming that like people who know what they're doing, like real makeup gurus, probably use different brushes for different parts of their face when putting on foundation. I don't know. You can let me know if that's true. But those are my observations so far. So pretty much I like this. This is doing the job. Not thrilled with it, but it's doing the job. So anyway, so the chat that we're going to have today is about, what should I call it? I'm going to call it, for lack of a better term, I'm going to call it my makeup addiction, right? So guys, remember that I am a counselor. There are rules to like what you call addiction and what you don't. But just for like general understanding, I'm going to call it makeup addiction, right? So I know I've mentioned this a few times on my channel that like, oh, I'm doing better and that I don't buy as much as I used to and stuff like that. I'm going to switch over now. This is difficult, doing all these things at once. I'm switching over to the BH Cosmetics Zodiac palette, the original one. And I think I'm going to play around with, make sure you're sitting down, I'm going to play around with some neutrals, okay? Some warm tone neutrals. I think I'm going to probably use like this one, maybe like these a little bit. I think I'm aiming for like a neutral-ish with like a little kick eye, and then a red lip today. We'll see. Point being that I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my struggles with buying too much makeup. So, my parents, we drag my parents into this, right? My parents have always been very good to me. Pretty much letting me get whatever I want. I was never someone who really asked for a lot of things. But what that did was that I kind of didn't learn as much responsibility and say like money management and stuff like that. So my parents had started giving me kind of like free rein with money, like as long as I wasn't getting anything like ridiculous or like outrageously priced or something like that. So makeup fell into that category where I would kind of just like, instead of asking, hey, can I get this? Eventually it kind of became like, I know I can get that, so I would purchase it. But there was coming a point where it was getting to be too much. And part of it is because I just really love makeup, right? We know that. I love the colors. I love playing with everything. You know, I am an artist, so I enjoy playing with stuff like this, and this is a form of artistry and creating. So that is definitely part of it. However, I think we've probably all engaged in this at some time or another, what I'm going to call retail therapy, right? So when you're feeling sad or upset or something like that, right, you decide to buy some makeup and you feel better. But there comes a time where that doesn't work anymore and it actually causes more problems. So for example, I have grief issues. I've lost people who are close to me and I have a hard time dealing with that sometimes. So couple that with some lack of restraint, like I said, the kind of free rein with the money, right? Like, oh, I'm responsible. I know that, you know, that's not too much money. It's nothing outrageous. I'm just gonna get it. So I would say when things started really getting out of hand, when this was a little while ago, my friend's father was diagnosed with cancer, and it was not a good situation. He was basically given months, and it was very hard. I loved my friend's dad very much, still do, now that he is gone. But that's definitely when my makeup buying increased by a lot, and also when I was engaging in more of this retail therapy. But here's the problem when you do that. You think, you know, so here I am laying in bed, crying, right? Feeling bad about, you know, what's going on. And a makeup sale pops up on my phone. I think it's gonna make me feel better, so I buy it. And by this point, I had my credit card number memorized in my head, so I could just go and do it. I didn't even have to get out of bed to do this. And it wasn't making anything better. Like, maybe there was a little rush when I hit, you know, purchase and I got that confirmation number. There was a rush maybe when the package actually came in the mail, but you know, using it for the first time, stuff like that. But it didn't fix anything, and it created a new problem. I have, by this point, run out of space in my room. I do not have room for all the makeup that I have by now. You guys have seen like areas of my room with like all the makeup in it, right? And it's become too much. And also the bills. I'll give you an approximate number, which may sound shocking to some of you, and to others it may not, because maybe you typically spend that number on makeup every month and it's not part of this situation just because you have more money, or because, you know, makeup is more of a priority to you, so you set aside that amount of money to buy more. I was spending between $100 and $200 extra dollars per month on makeup, and to me that is a big number, because based on, you know, my budget, that was more than what should have been spent on makeup, especially like all in one shot, as I drop things off my dresser. Oh, I'm supposed to be telling you guys like what I'm using, right? Well, you saw my fluffy brush from Wish, you saw my BH Cosmetics brush with a 3 on it. Now I'm going with my Ivy White crease brush. I used the matte Aquarius shade, the matte Sagittarius shade, and now I'm mixing a little bit of the matte Scorpio and matte Leo. Okay, back to story time. What was I saying? Oh, so it was tricky because, well, I guess I was able to trick myself into, well, it's not that much, because I wasn't buying anything in like big chunks. So let's say like a Too Faced palette, right? Like that's about $50. I wasn't buying a Too Faced palette. I was buying, oh, here's a sale, here's something for $20. And then the next week it was like, oh, here's another sale, here's something for $17. And the next week, oh, here's a sale on Monday and here's a sale on Thursday, and each of those are only $10, so it's fine. But it wasn't fine, because that's how you trick yourself. You think that you're not spending that much, but you actually are, because even though you're spending little bits at a time, if you're doing it often enough, they all add up. And what my dad did, it's like my mom was really not happy about this. My dad wasn't thrilled either, but what his approach was, because he buys a lot of stuff too, right? Without getting into his personal life, right? He buys a lot of stuff too. And he was starting to notice like how much I was, you know, buying and spending. And he sat down with me and pulled out the credit card bill. And that's how I found out that I was spending between $100 and $200 extra per month. We went down the bill and we separated everything that was, say, stuff for the house or groceries or whatever, and then we would pull apart like what things were me buying makeup. And that was a good technique, because it can help you see like how much that you're actually spending. If you don't think you're spending that much and then you see that. The thing is, I was able to trick myself again, because I was so afraid. Like, I didn't want to look at the bill because I was so afraid that it was going to be thousands of dollars. When I found out that it was actually only between $100 and $200, I was like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was. So I can keep doing what I'm doing. That's fine. And again, in my head, I'm thinking, well, $50, you know, Too Faced palette is unreasonable. But, oh, but this item for $20 that I've been wanting and it's on sale now, well, that's reasonable. And then doing that, like, how many times a month? So you trick yourself, even if you don't, you know, intend to do it. That looks pretty good, actually. I don't know if you can see it on camera that well. Before I continue with story time, disclaimer, please don't do this, okay? Do as I say, not as I do. So I'm going to use this Ofra liquid lipstick on my eyes. It's very pretty. This one is Atlantis, and this is one of the ones that I won in the Ipsy contest. So, yeah, very pretty. Ofra had told me, I had contacted them, remember, and they had said that, you know, do like a little test area first before using it full on as an eyeshadow. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go straight in, okay? So please don't do that. Whatever happens to me, happens to me. I'm not suing Ofra. It's my own fault if I get like a crazy reaction, okay? Also, I'm going to put it on my finger, and that way I can still use it on my lips. I won't contaminate it with like eyeshadow, because we all know I'm very sensitive, like things that go on my lips with all my health issues. Okay, so I'm going to put this on as I continue talking. I think what I started saying before is that in reality, this retail therapy doesn't help. It doesn't make your problems go away. And I think we all know that. That is so pretty. Anyway, I think we all know that, but like, you know, those of us who really struggle with this kind of thing, we do it anyway. So what I ended up doing, I did ask, you know, like my parents for help. Just like talking to them about like how I was feeling. And because the truth of the matter is, even if you start doing something like CBT. So for those of you who don't know, I'm going to use some counselor talk now. This is cognitive behavioral therapy. And you're basically changing your behaviors and your thoughts by different like specific techniques. So that is what I tried with myself. Sometimes that works, but a lot of the times you need to deal with the issue that's like causing the issue. You get what I mean? So yes, the issue is that I'm buying too much makeup. And I'll tell you how I started to target that in a minute. But the bigger issue, the real issue, is that I was grieving and that I was really upset and sad and scared. And as long as those still exist and I'm, you know, if I wasn't dealing with those, either a couple things could happen. Either the makeup buying isn't going to stop because what's causing it in the first place isn't stopping, or I'm just going to find a new habit to take care of those feelings or take care of them. That is so pretty. I hope I don't get some sort of crazy reaction. That's very pretty. I'm going to use Soho as my brow bone highlight, which is another one that I got, oh, so pretty, at the Ipsy convention. Actually, it's kind of dark. But you know what? We're going to try it out. Or not that I got at the Ipsy convention, that I won, but yeah, we're going to try it out anyway, because why not? I'm going to try it on my dollar store brush. So first step was, like you said, kind of talking to my parents, and like I needed their support with this, and I needed to like talk about my feelings. And I was trying to get that support by, you know, socializing more. I was trying to get that support by talking to them, talking to like a lot of different people about that kind of thing. Then I started what is closer to the behavioral therapy part of it. I'm also not telling you to like diagnose yourself and to like treat yourself, but these are tips that you can use, you know, or you could go see a therapist and, you know, do it that way. Disclaimers. So what I did was every week that I did not buy something, I would say like put aside $5. Like I kind of earned $5 toward buying something later on. This is kind of like, you know, the reward charts when you're like in kindergarten and stuff. Like, oh, Jessica sat in her seat today, she gets a gold star, and when she gets 5 gold stars, she gets a sticker. Like that kind of thing. It works. And, you know, not for everybody, and you have to find out like what works for you too. Because for you, that may mean, you know, set aside $7, or maybe you can do it setting aside just $2. It depends, and it depends on the person. There is no like one size fits all for this kind of thing. Storytime break, I'm going to use Bali, and I'm going to put that on my cheekbones. It's too dark for me, I know. I said I wasn't going to keep both of these. I know, I did, but I felt that they were different enough, actually. So that's what I'm going to do. And besides, you all want to see it, right? So what I did was the $5 thing. And then, like, I could earn additional money to put aside, like, if I did extra tasks, like, around the house, which didn't work. So most of the money that I quote unquote earned was by, you know, not buying things and by waiting. So again, I'm waiting to buy things with the idea that I will get something later on, and then I could use that money to like buy something. I'm talking about my feelings. I'm trying to be more social, so dealing with my feelings in a different way rather than resorting to like buying everything. Something else I did was, if I were to cave and buy something, like that deducts from the bank that I was accumulating, but that actually didn't happen, which was good. And it also turned into, I was being more monitored now, and I was talking to my mom and saying, instead of just like, you know, this is reasonable, let me go buy this, it was, hey Ma, can I get this? Should I get this? Like that kind of thing. And if it was a no, I honored that no, which, you know, wasn't always easy to do. I'm not saying it was easy, but that's what I did. Some other things I did as I open something that I've had for a while but have not tried. This is the Creme Shop Creamy Gel Eyeliner. This is waterproof. Oh, this is never gonna come off. It's in black. I know I don't usually use things like this, but I want to try it, so that's what I'm gonna do. I don't even know if I have a brush to use with this properly, but we're gonna see. So watch me just completely ruin this pretty little eye look that I came up with. What's this? BH Cosmetics, it's got a 7 on it, so I'm gonna try this. I'll see what happens. That is very black. Like, I felt like it wasn't really making much of a dent in there, but like, I don't know if you can see, it's actually black. Also, the bristles are like coming apart, so we're gonna do our best here. Something else I did was, you guessed it, I started a YouTube channel. So when I was feeling these urges to go buy things, instead I would come in here and do my makeup with what I had, or start playing with, you know, makeup swatching and creating videos. And that's what I mean, you know, when I've said on my channel that this channel really helped me, because it gave me something else to do, and it still had to do with makeup and enjoying makeup, but I wasn't adding more to my collection, which really didn't need to happen. And that's kind of how I tackled it. I forget, did I mention that I deleted apps and unsubscribed to things and stuff? That's another thing you can do, and that wasn't easy either, because you feel like, oh, I'm missing out on like a bunch of sales. You are, but you know what? You don't need them. That was something that I tried from the beginning, because I figured, oh, you know, I'm just being like stimulated by seeing all these sales and stuff coming on. So I'll turn it off. I'll turn off the notifications. I'll delete the apps, whatever. And then, you know, when I feel that I have more control over the situation, I'll just put them back. So that was, I was deleting apps and bringing them back like every week or two, because I didn't really have a handle on the situation. I thought I did. You know, having a handle on the situation does not mean I haven't bought anything in 3 days. It means that you haven't bought anything in 3 days. That's all it means. It does not mean that you now have a handle on the situation. So then I would put the apps back, and then guess what? Because I didn't have a handle on the situation, I would buy more things. You really cannot do two things at the same time. This eyeliner is horrible. And not the eyeliner, it just, what I've done with it is horrible. I think part of it's probably the brush. Part of it is the fact that I'm not used to this. Part of it is I'm trying to talk to you guys at the same time. See, like that. And, yeah, we all know that this just, like, isn't really my thing. I feel like it's a nice eyeliner. I'm just not, used to using it. But, anyway, in this time, so now I was also starting to watch Angeshka, And hearing her talk about like her low buy and like things that, you know, she liked them but like didn't mean she had to buy them and stuff like that, you know, that's kind of like, I guess, the inspiration for the series I had started on my channel, but I told you guys I really hate editing them so much. The Makeup of Interest series. And so another thing I do is like I really think about the makeup before I like go to buy it. You know, the questions that I've asked myself, and I continue to do so. Do I need it? And is it really for me? So is it really for me means if I see a palette and there's like 3 purples in it and the rest of it is all neutrals, it has now caught my eye because of the 3 purples. But is that palette really for me? Do I really need a big palette with all these neutrals in it just because I like 3 purples that I probably already have? So that's the other part of it. Do I need it? No. If I go through my collection, I'm bound to find similar things. I have so much. So just being like more selective when you do buy things. And now I feel like I really do have a handle on the situation. And, you know, do I occasionally buy something to make myself feel better? Yeah, I do. And do I buy things that I don't need sometimes? I do. But I'm not getting those bills anymore. I'm not just impulsively, you know, like, oh, I'm sad, I'm laying in bed, I'm crying. Let me go buy something and make myself feel better, because it's not going to happen. And that's not happening anymore. So, you know, it took a lot of things. I feel like I got help from this channel, from my parents and other people. And like from myself, like just really thinking about what's causing the issue, like what's the real root of the issue. And again, I'm not saying it's easy. And, you know, you do have to be willing to like really look at, you know, why are you doing this? And in my case, it was, you know, I'm grieving and dealing with these emotions. Another one that affected me, not only with my friend's father having and dying from cancer, was my guinea pig. I had mentioned that this year. That was a real struggle for me, and I'm still struggling with those kinds of feelings where, you know, she, at the beginning of this year, she was, you know, diagnosed as terminally ill. There was nothing we could do. We just, you know, made her comfortable. I hate that. I'm going to drop this. I hate that saying, but that's what we did. We gave her pain medicine and, you know, all the treats she enjoys and stuff. Extra spoiled her because we spoiled her to begin with, and now we were just spoiling her even more. Love her, feed her, you know, keep in touch with the vet. And so that was another factor on me that, you know, I wanted to like go out and buy more makeup. And at times I did. But other times, like I said, I socialized, I did my channel, and I asked for help. This eyeliner, look at this eyeliner. It's so bad, I'm sorry. But that's what it looks like when you don't apply it great. But seems like a nice eyeliner. I'll let you know how it comes off later, because we all know that I'm very picky about like taking makeup off, and that it won't be like too difficult or messy or anything like that. So I'm definitely not going to be able to talk through this part. For my lips, I'm going to be using Ofra's liquid lipstick in Atlantic City. I told you I was probably going to keep that one, and I did. I'm still going through everything. I've made final decisions on the highlighters. I'm still going through the liquid lipstick, so let me just put this on. How did I even... Yeah, so not the best application. Same could be said for the eyeliner, but you get to see the color. This one I feel like is a little bit of a deeper blue-based red. Very nice. And also completely matte. No metallic or shimmer at all. So as I'm finishing up this look today, First of all, I'm thinking that I probably should have just separated this into a few videos. Trying out new products should have been one, reviews should have been another, story time should have been another, but here we are and we did everything in one shot. So my final thoughts to you are, first of all, you know, if you're struggling with buying too much makeup, or anything, you know, like that, not just makeup, it could literally be anything that you're buying too much of to, you know, basically deal with your emotions. It's not easy, but you can do it, and I encourage you to talk to a therapist or talk to your family, your friends. You know, just, you have to find another way to deal with those emotions. Again, it's not easy, but it can be done, and I believe in you. Second of all, how am I, you know, going to fare during the Black Friday and Cyber Monday sales and all that? You know, it's temptation, for sure. I have already bought one thing. However, let me tell you that that is a huge improvement, because at this point, like in another year, I would have bought everything. No, I've already seen like a lot of notifications come in. I've seen a lot of sales, and I've been going in and I've been looking at them, and they've been really tempting to me, but I've been able to say no, you know, I don't need that. And you know, I selected one thing that I wanted, which I'll make a video on when it comes, even though it's not a new product. It's new for me, but not new for the world. And I will, you know, I'll show you that. And that's what I've selected so far. Again, another thing to do is just to like really think about what you're buying, and like Angelica says, is it filling a void like in your makeup collection? Or, you know, and like what I say, is it really for you? Do you really need it? And really think about that and try to stick to it. Unless you're watching this video and you're like, Jessica, I'm just gonna buy everything, leave me alone. Okay, fine, buy everything. I mean, you know, that's up to you. But if you feel like you're struggling with this and you want to, no matter if you feel like you have some kind of addiction, right, in quotes, or you're just saying like, there's so many sales, I really want everything, but I really shouldn't buy it, what should I do? You know, I suggest following these kinds of steps that could maybe make you stop and think a little bit more, and be more selective with what you buy. Oh, also, something else that I did try, someone had told me to like build my perfect wish list or build my perfect cart and like put my energy into doing that. And it was a good idea in theory, and I'm sure that it'll work for some people. But the problem for me is that it was too easy then to just hit buy. Now everything was in my cart. Everything I wanted was already there. I had curated it. It was perfect. It was like so perfect that I should buy it. So I did. So that didn't work for me. But like I said earlier, you know, you have to find out what works for you. So basically that's my plan. I know that there's going to be a lot of temptation this coming weekend. And I just have to remember to deal with my feelings in the way that are, you know, the ways that are most effective. Buying makeup is not effective, and I really don't have space for it. I don't have the money for it. I don't need it. And there are other ways to get, you know, the feeling better that I'm looking for. I mean, the holidays are hard for me, actually. Like I said, I have grief issues. I've lost people that I love, and, you know, especially some of them were around the holidays. That makes it even harder, because holidays are like, everyone gets together, you're supposed to be happy, but like, I always remember who's missing and who should be there celebrating with us, and they're no longer here. By the way, what I just used was Betty Boop x Ipsy, the Blink and Wink mascara. I have to say, I do like it. Would I go out and purchase it on my own now that I have like tried it? Probably not, just because I have other things that I do like. But I do like this, and it's not terribly hard to like take off at the end of the day. And you guys know that that's a big factor for me. And I'll just throw a little bit of my typical mascara on the bottom. But yeah, so I hope I didn't make anybody too sad with this discussion. I just felt like it was something important, like maybe by sharing my struggles, you know, like everyone says, maybe by sharing my struggles, I can help somebody else. And like I've said, I am a counselor. This is by far not my job right here. I have my internship and I'm graduating next month. It's going to be with my master's in mental health counseling. And again, I'm in that field because I want to help people. And one of the things that we can do to help people is to start conversations and start talking about things. So good luck to all of you on not spending all your money this weekend. And again, if that is your goal, if you do want to spend like a lot of money and take advantage of all the sales and get a bunch of products that you've had your eye on, go for it. Especially if it's something you've had your eye on for a long time, you've saved up for it, you know, go for it. That's something I do too, like, as long as I keep it more focused, like, not just like, ooh, I like that, I like that, I like that, hey, they're all on sale, let's go get them. No, let's not. Let's keep it more focused and think about what I really want and, like, what I need, because obviously makeup is just a want, right? But things that I don't already have or fill some type of hole in my collection. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. What do you think of the look? I like it. I have to say, I really do like it. I need some improvement with the eyeliner for sure. I'll take a picture in my bathroom in the natural lighting so you can really see like the highlighter. And this is what it is. Ooh, and I have my new sweater. My Aang sweater. It has the whole gang on it. Alright, that's it for today. I hope you have a good day no matter what it is you're doing, and I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving and other holidays as well. Bye. See you next time.